Hello, hello, art friends. Welcome, 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 welcome. Super excited to be here with all of you today. Let me get this on the tripod. How is everybody? Let me know who's here. Hi, Barbara. Let me know who's here, where you're tuning in from. If you have a chance to chat that in, please do. Let me know if you can um, hear and see me okay. Hey, Barb. Hey, Lucy. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Gonna have some Christmas fun. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody today? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm good. How are you guys? Yes. Are you feeling creative? Are you feeling inspired? Are you feeling limitless? Are you exploding with greatness? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Hey, Barbara. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Jermaine. Good afternoon. Hi, Anne Marie. Hello, hello. Let's have fun today. Let's get goofy. Let's get silly. Let's have fun. Let's create some beauty. Hello, Joanna. Hi, Marty. Hey, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Jolynn. So I've been doing so much today. I don't know about you guys. It's kind of been like one of those days where it's like you're doing so much and there's like bing, 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 bing. You feel like a little ping pong ball. But it's all good. I have learned how to do a lot of things with grace, flow, and ease, and with joy. Isn't that wonderful? Because I feel like that is what's available to us all and what's possible, right? Yay, Lucy! Yes, yes, yes. Bringing a smile to your face. Whew. I'm telling you what, this whole like getting older thing, um, I go from like freezing to then like I put on this yummy, yummy red sweater. I just love it so much. It's so nice. Oh, it just feels so good. And then I'm like, I'm dying. I'm burning up. It's crazy. It's crazy getting older. Isn't it? I know y'all can relate because you all are probably about my age or older than me. So, yeah, the joys of being female. Joy, joy, joy. Happy, joy, joy. Hi, Marie. Hi, Kathy. So I'm just kind of blathering on here until everybody pops in. It looks like I was a couple minutes late. I had to use the bathroom and I did not think y'all wanted to see that business. So, oh, older. Maria says older. Lucy says, hot flashes, you're too young. I don't know. I've been waking up like in the middle of the night, just like sweating down. Hi, Arena. So I could be right now. I'm in my mid 40s, Lucy. So could be on the beginning of all of that fantastic journey. Okay, cool. Super excited. Yesterday we did the that one little box together. I'm actually trying to find some felt so that I can line these little felt boxes, but this is the one that we painted yesterday. And I really enjoy it. Like I did a little bit more to this rose, but not much. So this one's drying. And oh, Marie says I had a roommate who had her menopause at 30. Yeah, I mean, I was looking up about it and they were saying, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having like crazy hot flashes all the time. Um, and anyway, so they did say pretty much starting in your 40s, you could be getting into perimenopause or whatever. Oh, the conversations we have. I bet all the men here, I bet all the men here are like, oh boy. And then I painted this one yesterday, which I feel like turned out really good. Has a red rose, a peach rose, and a pink peony and like a little spray. This is the one that has a little music box in it. So I won't line this one or attempt to line this one, but aren't these beautiful? These are so lovely. And I'm like really trying hard to really kind of um, intuit a design that would look and feel like it always belonged on these old boxes. And so that's been a lot of fun. I got some more in too, so I'm excited to work on those. I got this one in, which this is just a print, so don't worry. I would hate to ever sand off anybody's original painting of another artist. So I specifically tried to find some that just look like they have a print on it. But isn't this one cute? And look at like the vintagey paper on the inside. So I don't know the exact ages of all of these, but I know that they were estimating like after 1940. So this one is actually a set that I'm going to work on. Hey, Miriam. Hey, Aphrodite. Looks like the whole gang is joining in here, our fabulous art tribe. And this one fits inside of this one. So I'm super excited. I'm going to sell those as a set once I get them done. All of these are actually from eBay, Lucy. I haven't looked on Etsy actually, but I've found some really great deals on these on eBay. Um, I've been having more success there. So everybody here, good, good, good. So let's paint together. I've got my hot cup of apple cider. Is everyone feeling Christmassy? Yay. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, check eBay. And those in particular, I think are called Florentia instead of Florence. Yeah, I feel like that too, Arena. I feel like sometimes you can find better deals on eBay than on Etsy. My mom's an eBay seller, so I tend to go to eBay just because I'm like, oh yeah, people like my mom sell on eBay. And anyways, I think it's good too for like vintage stuff or antique stuff or thrift things. Etsy, I feel like is fantastic for like makers and creators, people who are kind of like doing like what I'm doing, hand making items. I feel like that's, probably better to look for on Etsy. Hi, Charlie. Hello. Hi, Samuel. Welcome. Hi, Miriam. Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm not complaining about getting old. I'm just stating a fact that I'm getting older and something is happening with the temperature. Oops. With the temperature gauge in my body. Wait till night sweats. I'm having night sweats. That's what I'm saying. Like waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and just like I can't sleep with our blanket on right now. It's just like a sheet and a throw. Hi, Susan. Welcome. So good to see you. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like it's probably hormonal, but who knows? Okay. Okay, let's paint. I decided today we're going to do a paintini, and I found a really beautiful image of peonies. Um, what does this say? Oh, Marie says they don't have apple cider in France. I'm kind of surprised by that. But they do like a warm mulled wine or something at Christmas time, don't they, Marie? That I've heard about. I have not tried yet. Actually, one of my goals is to spend a Christmas and New Year's in Paris. And so I am looking forward to trying all those yummy, yummy, yummies. Okay, awesome. Welcome everybody. So I found this image on Pixabay of peonies. Let me see. And on Pixabay, you can find license-free images to work from. And this image is, let's see, uh, Melanie from Pixabay. I don't know what you can thank the offer. Looks like her name is Low Lame. Low Lame. Anyways, so probably if you search peonies and vase, you can find this image. If you want to look at the reference image on your own, you could open that up in another tab and search. I just searched peonies vase, and then this one was one that came up. So that's what I'm going to be working from. And a lot of the Pixabay images are free to use, without accreditation, and free to use for commercial purposes as well. But just double check, just make sure that you double check all of that before you start to work from it. I'm trying to see what the best angle I can get here for you guys is. And then just a friendly reminder, everybody, if you haven't heard about the Christmas party, that you are invited to the Christmas party. I've got a link there for you. You can go to artlifewithkelly.com to check that out. Of course, Art Life School members are automatically included, but Art Life School members, you do need to RSVP for that since it's a Zoom call. Otherwise, if you can't be there and you're in the Art Life School, or you sign up for the day pass to come, then the recording will be made available to you in your Art Life School library. And then also the raffle deadline is coming soon, and that is for a chance to win a size 12 by 16 or under painting from me, valued at $4,000 or less. And that will be your choice, based on the paintings I have available on the website. So the deadline for that raffle is ending very soon. So you can go to artlifewithkelly.com and check that out as well if you're interested in that. Okay. And then every month, for my Kelly Folsom Fine Art website, let's see, what else do I need? I need alizarin crimson. Every month on that newsletter list, I give away an original painting. I do a giveaway every month, an 8 by 10 or under. So if you're not on that list, you can go to kellyfolsom.com and join that collector's circle list at the bottom of that homepage. Every subscriber who's on that list every single month has a chance to win one of my paintings. Cool. All right. So I was so hoping I would make it through the end of the year without having to order any art supplies, but alas, I only have this much. Alas, my ass. I only have this much Flake White left. So I have to order more, because since I've been painting every day, especially with you guys, I have been plowing through the paint, which is awesome. It's always a good sign, right? That you're creating a lot. So yeah, I had to do an order today for some new paint and new panels and goodies. It's hard to get peonies this time of year, but I was really in the mood to paint some peonies. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. If you don't have a photo, of your own, then gosh, we have so many fantastic available tools at our disposal in this crazy, wonderful, modern internet world that we're all living in. Just using some raw umber here to mask this in. So Pixabay is great for references like that, for things that, you just don't have on your own. So I'm just going to block this in and kind of block out where the flowers are going to go. I had kind of contemplated sizing this down and making up a vase, or doing it like it is vignette. What do you guys think? Should I do vignette? Should I size it down and put it in a vase, make up a vase? What are you more interested in? I'm curious. Okay, I'm going to add some black while I'm waiting to see if you guys have any preferences. Just going to add some black to that for my background. I just don't like to start the whole thing with black until I have a better idea of where my subject is going to go. So yesterday, as I was painting those little boxes, I was looking at some of the French artist Fantin Latour gosh, his roses, they were just, and peonies, all his flowers, absolutely incredible, just absolutely incredible. Vignette, vignette, vignette. Okay, awesome, good, since I've already this far. But I would be happy to change if you guys wanted that. So just kind of coming back into this contour of the, like pretending like I'm cutting out these shapes with a pair of scissors and just really kind of looking at the contour here, edges, just to modify any of my drawing as needed. It doesn't have to be exact, but like, for example, where that little petal is cut out, you got like a little V shape there. But just to get it a little more accurate, maybe we don't need to even show the vase. Maybe we'll just do like some stems or something. I don't know. Trying to leave on these paintinis, if you're going to frame them, which most of mine I haven't been able to find a frame for every single kind, but you have to remember that the frame is going to eat up about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, right? So just make sure that you don't maybe size too large for that reason if you're going to frame. Unless that's like part of your design and you want everything going off the canvas. But man, studying Fantan Latour yesterday, wow. Isn't he amazing? Isn't his work just so impeccable? Oh, I just it's like heaven. It's just like wow. Kisses from heaven. That's what my mom yesterday said my little antique boxes were like. She said, "Oh, I love them. They're like kisses from heaven." Isn't that sweet? So sweet. So sweet of her. Um, Putting a little bit of medium in here on my white, just because I'm getting to the bottom of this tube, and it's kind of an older tube anyway. So it's, it's dried out a little bit. Plus, Old Holland tends to have less oil in their paint anyways. I like it a little bit oilier than that, a little creamier than that. So I'll just go ahead and do that so I'm not fighting that paint the whole time. Man, I need to clean this palette knife, y'all. Woo, that's bad. I gotta clean that thing today. I'm so bad whenever it comes to cleaning. Okay, so yeah, but Fantan Latour, wow, it was looking at his work yesterday, it was just so beautiful. And I thought, man, to be able to paint beautiful, gorgeous paintings like that, it's like, wow, I could take an entire lifetime to get to that level. Just impeccable. Okay, alizarin crimson and white. I will say this is not the alizarin crimson permanent. This is alizarin crimson from Sennelier, just a regular old plain old Jano. Everybody's scared it's going to turn black and fall off the canvas, alizarin crimson. And it doesn't do that, okay? But what I'll tell you is if you get the permanent version of this, the color is not going to be nearly as pretty. It's not going to be nearly as rich and vibrant as the one that doesn't say permanent on it. So sometimes students and people will, artists will ask me that, like, oh, my alizarin doesn't look the same as yours. And I have a feeling that that's usually what it is, that they're buying that permanent version. It's just not as pretty. So there's a little bit of white in here, some ultramarine blue, just to kind of get this violet tone. This one's mostly in shadow. Let's add a little bit more white. That's going to be more kind of in that violet. Even the shadow is lighter than the background. So since this is a dark, dark black background, very classic looking, we need to add enough white in the shadow to get the shadow to stand out against that dark background. So just kind of blocking this whole thing in with this color, except for maybe this side where the lit edge of the petals are going to be. And then I do need a little bit of that darker color as an accent here in the cast shadows in between the fold where that petal is folding back. So some ivory black. Now, I know on these lives, sometimes it's, do you guys want it closer up on the painting? Maybe right now more mixtures are good, and then as we get into details, we'll zoom in more on the painting since these are so small. So just hunting for some of these dark accents here. Someone told me, yes, actually it was Barb, who said, I'm loving these daily lives. I'm going to have withdrawals in January. So sweet. So for shadow color on this one pink one, I'm going to add just a lot more white into this. It's kind of a similar color, just a lot lighter in value. And then I think I'm going to put in some raw umber and a little pinch of the warmer red for this underplane shadow here. If we pick up some of that ivory black or raw umber, that's okay. And then you're going to have a little bit of shadow, trying to make a narrower shape on the inside here. So a little bit more yellow ochre and white and raw umber. On the inside, because the local value there, the local color, it's not really a color, but the local value here in this section is much lighter in value. So it's more of kind of like a beigey, you know, pale gray, I guess I would say. So form shadow is always related to your local color and in general to the value of the object that it's on. Now, your background value does play a role in that. If you're working on a very high key background, you're probably not going to have as dark of shadows. Okay, and vice versa. If you're working on a very dark chiaroscuro type background like this, you will have, darker seeming shadows and really intense lights. Okay, so we've got dark shadow green on the, what is that called? Like the covering of this is an unopened one. So ivory black and cad yellow deep is what I'm using for that to get that started. I'll just start this whole shape, just kind of nail down the whole shape there right away, even though there's multiple color changes and little tiny shapes within the big shape, but I just like to keep it simple and kind of nail down one thing at a time. So if I can solve the whole shape first, then I can come back in and add little details. So we've got some leaves here in the center. I added a little bit more cad yellow and a little pinch of ultramarine blue to that to get those a little more colorful. Maybe we'll do a stem coming out here. And there's like a leaf over here. I'm trying to keep in mind I'm painting into some of this wet black with that color, so it is going to dry a little bit darker than what it looks right now. Maybe I just make up one or something here just for balance of the composition. It's not really there in the photograph. And maybe one is a little bit lighter with some more white in the mix, where my lighter yellows like my cad lemon and my yellow ochre. Again, just kind of seeking to balance the composition where I can, since I'm not going to use that cut off glass vase that they have it in. That's kind of nice too, because little things like that can make it more your own, more artistic, which is always a good idea. You want to try to make sure that you, even if you're using anybody's like photo reference, I think it's best to try to see how you can make it your own in some way. Alrighty. So we've got our big basic shapes blocked in. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, make sure that, just so you know, this will be posted afterwards if you missed any of the first part, so you can catch up on anything you missed. Um, all right, thank you, Arena. Oh, good, you found that image. Good, good, good. This Paintini is another 4x4, so 3x3? Wait, 3x3. Same size as this one here that we did on the very first day. So this one is, yeah, 3x3. Okay, so I will zoom in a little bit more now that we have the basic colors and bigger shapes in, which means that you won't be able to see the, oh, you know what? I wonder, let me see if I can put this down lower by the palette so at least maybe you can see a little bit of that. Perhaps. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, awesome. Perhaps. What is that off of? It's off of a, it's like a Broadway play or something. Okay, back to Alizarin Crimson and White. I'm going back to that first peony. Or I guess it's technically the last peony, but the first one that I painted. I'm going to start in with some of this light. I love it whenever things like that happen, where there's like these little strands of pure color. So it's also why I am in favor of not always over mixing your color on your palette like you're mixing up pancake batter or something. So I love to have some of those strands of light. There's some little peekaboos of light in here catching on some of these tips. I'm just really kind of shovel loading that paint. This one, of course, is getting hit with the most amount of light. I want to try to get the curve of that petal curving around. And sometimes I just go through and kind of frame out some of these layers, mostly looking for the edges, trying to really use my brush just on the edge of the filbert, which allows me to put down a kind of a finer line, so to speak, or a finer edge really is what it is. Okay, and then these petals are getting some light, a little bit of light, especially on the left edge. Light coming from the left-hand side. Hey, somebody else lights their things from the left-hand side. How about that? Another little petal coming out over here. Okay. So that's a pretty good start on that one. And I might actually need some of my smaller, you can just get a bunch of these little cheapy synthetic rounds. Bye, Lucy. Have a great day. So for some of these times, I'll try to use this hog hair as long as I can, since, everybody knows I love my hog hair. Just kidding. Oh my goodness. I'm in such a funny mood today. So just kind of finessing with some of those edges that I just put in. I don't want to do too much on this before I move around the canvas, but I do want to kind of get enough action, I guess you might say, going there. Then really wiping that out of my brush as much as I can. And then moving, this is mostly white, but there is some pink in it. So I'm just going to have like the tiniest amount. I think a mix of alizarin crimson and cab red light. It's not quite as sweet and purpley red as this one over here. But there is kind of like some pinkish blush. I guess it's maybe kind of a blush tone. Trying not to eat up all my shadow colors that I put in a minute ago. Also, not worrying about trying to be perfect whenever I paint that contour along the background edge, because I'm going to come back in with background color and just carve out that contour. You do have a little fine edge here of petal folding over, so that's where, just switching the angle of your brush instead of painting flat this way, broad, just turn it on its side. Which is probably why I love those filberts, because they're so versatile like that. So making an edge, along the back edge of the contour there, and then, kind of blending it in with that color that was underneath. Kind of need to go back to shadow color, so just kind of mix in some red and green here with some white. Just to maybe push a little more warmth and shadow in between some of these petals. Gosh, this one has a lot of pink in the shadow, a lot of local color in the shadow there, so we'll do that. And then, of course, you've got all these little rim lights just along the edges. I would do, just enough of those for the detail that we need, but we don't have to do every single one, thank goodness. This peony literally has a fold and a crease in it. The petal just got, in real life, so the petal just got a little damaged somehow, so I'm not going to paint it that way with that dramatic of a fold. Okay, and then we have this unopened one, which, gosh, aren't those just the most fun and delightful to paint? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, just kind of using my brush to pull off some of that tone. Perfect. So pretty. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. So, when we don't paint, we're really just robbing ourselves of just the pleasure, the pleasure and the joy of painting and being able, even just being able to observe this beauty, whether it's in real life or a photo. It's just so healing to the soul, to the mind. Okay, this has cad lemon, a bunch of white, a little bit of that cad red light, but this is going to be mostly white. You really want to lay that paint down thick and flat. Oh, so satisfying. It's so satisfying. My gosh. Something about this. It's like, oh, all the little bells and whistles just go off in the brain. Ooh, that's yummy. So yummy. And also, of course, when we don't paint, we are not really living up to our full potential. You might not believe that if you have not adopted the identity of really being an artist. If you still question whether you are really an artist, you might not believe that. Using green and red with a lot of white here for my shadow color. But I'm here to say, if you just have the desire to create, the desire to make something beautiful, and that could either be a painting or a sculpture or whatever it is for you, you are a creator, you are an artist if you have that desire. And I just feel like it's our mandate, to live up to that potential and really seize the opportunities to live up to that potential. I'm just looking for little teeny tiny little detail variations along the edge. I'm trying to keep my paint mixtures up at the top here for you guys. Now, you could take this however far you want to go with it. And I'm just going to use some pure alizarin crimson, barely mix it with that white. I want just the most pure, look at that, luscious, luscious, luscious color. So satisfying. Oh, so beautiful. color is just so beautiful. I don't know if you guys were here the day I was talking about the show that's at the Denver Art Museum right now. Oh, it just gives me chills up my spine. It's so pretty. But it's called Saints, Sinners, what else? Fools, Lovers. Anyways, it's a bunch of Dutch still life painting. Flemish, sorry, Flemish in particular. And gosh, the paintings from like the 1400s, those first early, gosh, isn't that pretty? First early oil paintings. I'm using some ultramarine blue, some cad lemon, some white for this lit edge. Oh, so satisfying to put that down. Anyways, their color was just so pure, and I couldn't help walking away feeling like, gosh, we have tried to make all of these advances with color in the art world. Starting with all the newfangled fancy tube colors that came about during the Impressionist time, which don't get me wrong, I love those too. All the color theory study, analyzation of light and rods and cones and our eyes and all this jazz. And I just walked away from that show feeling like, wow, we've done all that, and I just don't feel like we have improved upon just that rich, luscious, pure color. Putting a little yellow ochre in there for some glow, some reflected light glow in there. We're going to do a little bit of yellow ochre along the white lit edge here. White is the most reflective color, and the larger the white, the more reflective it will be. Okay, just going to start that halation, get our glow on, get the glow on. We're going to start it around this edge, and then we're going to walk it out and make it look like we did not do it. Invisible. Little magic trick. Fun, 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 fun. Make a little noise while we're doing it. Just coming back in. So satisfying, right? This time I'm going to use a little bit of burnt sienna, a little bit of cad yellow deep for some glow. Since this is a black background, the glow around this edge might not be quite as opaque and cool as next to the white. Good, thank you. Thanks, Arena. Yay, Katha, I'm so glad this is fun. That's what it's all about, right? Strictly ballroom music. Oh, what, do you know the song? Was also used in Disney film Cruella. Oh my goodness, Doris Day song. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. I love me some Doris Day. I love old shit. What can I say? I love new shit too, but I love, hey, I love Lizzo and I love Doris Day, both equally in their own ways. But I do love Doris Day and that whole time period. It's so romantic and sweet. I love old movies. Have you guys heard of that Roku channel? If you have Roku, retro reels, They have so many. I think it's like $3 a month, so it does cost. But I like old movies so much, so we watch them pretty much every Sunday. That's kind of what we're watching right now. And they do add new things to it. I'm adding a little bit of ultramarine blue into this black. Not really sure I could tell you why I'm doing that, but that's what I'm doing. lost my image. I guess in some ways I just kind of have like that old soul kind of thing. Even whenever I was a teenager, I would watch all the old black and white movies, and I wanted to look like one of those old movie stars every day. And I love the black and white better because your imagination could, fill in all the color on your own. You could just imagine like, ooh, what color was that ball gown or that dress? Do you guys like old movies and stuff like that? Cutting in here on the contour now just to refine my contours a little bit further. It's up to you how much you want to do this. You could leave it very, big, blocky, and abstract if that's your thing or if that's what you're feeling today. Or you can go, pretty super refined. But Katharine Hepburn was one of my favorites. I wanted to be Katharine Hepburn. Both the Hepburns, actually. I loved Audrey Hepburn too. So I loved the way Katharine Hepburn talked, and oh my gosh, she was just so regal, tall and slender and gorgeous dresses, and plus she always had kind of more of a modern sensibility to her, I guess. Maybe I could relate to her because she was skinny with freckles. So I was like, okay, she kind of looks like me. Maybe how I look is all right. As a kid, you think you always think you're the ugly one and everybody else is pretty whenever you're a kid, right? Using a little bit of alizarin crimson to glaze into this just to get a little more curve and turn on this petal. And I've still got kind of some purpley, darker purpley gray color. So maybe I'll use that just to deepen this shadow just a little bit more on this adjacent peony. Just fine tuning any of my edges. It's always easier to carve into an edge to refine it than it is to try to make it refined right off the bat. So like just looking a little bit closer on that edge there. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Any questions, any comments? Woo, Lori says, love Katharine Hepburn, me too. Hey, awesome. Got a lot of old black and white movie lovers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, perhaps, yep. So check out that retro reels. There's actually there's so many movies on there that it's like they have all the ones that are not like the super mainstream popular ones. So if you're really a nerd, um, like me, I've been on a Jimmy Stewart kick lately, and like some of these movies I've never even heard of, and I've been watching black and white movies for years. So they, oh, what was the one called? Oh, I can't remember the title of this one, but it was on Retro Reels, and it was like, he was like this sewer worker in Paris that, um, anyways, it was a romance, and it was really, really sweet. It was so sweet. He was like an atheist, and then at the beginning it was really funny. He was like an atheist, and then he ended up falling in love with, actually she was like a prostitute. I was like, wow, I didn't realize how progressive some of these old movies were. But anyways, it was actually a really, really sweet movie. Okay, I'm going back into some of this green here, just to come back in and kind of work the interior a little bit more of this peony. I think the green will kind of contrast, blend with some of that pink that I already have down to create some of my shadow colors. Switching to this cheapy, the Fine Touch round number 3. Painting these minis is like, it gives me a newfound appreciation for all these cheapy brushes whenever you need to get in there and just do some little teeny tiny details. They're also good for, just softening some of these edges. Little lit edge, some of these little tiny, tiny edges are getting some light just right here on the edge of this petal. There's like a little glow passing through that petal. So let's see a little cab red. Excuse me. On the opposite side of this petal. So reflected light oftentimes can really be used to separate out forms that are, they're very similar to each other. And maybe there's also not like a huge color difference or a huge value difference. And so reflected light can be great, of great value there where it can really, just separate out a layer of petal. Now, the problem sometimes with these slicky brushes, softy brushes, is that sometimes they can actually take off too much paint for my taste. The more you move that brush around, whether it's hog hair or otherwise, but the more you move that brush around, but especially the soft hair brushes, they tend to really remove paint quite quickly. So I might just come back in with the hog hair here and with my oinker brush and just deposit some brush paint where I need some more hits of light. Moving a little bit more into that yellow color that's up here. It's not, this whole peony is not all just light pink. Look at, man, this is really coming together. It kind of just goes to show you, like, if you have good light on your subject, you can do anything. You can conquer the world. But when it comes to setting up our own still life, so oftentimes our studios are so imperfect with the lighting, which is why it's kind of important to really try to get your lighting good in your studio. Make sure you don't have too many light sources going on. I just kind of wanted to see if I could connect those shapes a little bit better. I do kind of like this little cutout V shape, so I'll come back in with some of the black if I can get in this little spot. There we go. Just the right amount of, detail or specificity there. But yeah, I was feeling like that petal felt a little disconnected from the whole peony, so maybe just trying to bridge that gap a little bit more. Okay, I think if my light, I made up these leaves, so if my light is coming from top left, and this one is far enough away from the bouquet, then stands to reason that this would be getting hit with a little bit more cool light because leaves are like little bowls. So they're going to cup the light. There we go. So maybe a little more cool. That was just some ultramarine blue, some white, some cad lemon. Oh, yellow ochre was in there too. Maybe just make that a little more strongly stated there. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts, any contributions that you want to make to the conversation. Always love to hear what you guys have to say. So don't be shy. And of course, my Art Life School members know that they can say anything to me because they know me so well. They know me well. There's like a little more warmth here So I'm adding a little bit of yellow ochre, a little more white right here on the tip of that. Getting some of that paint off my brush just to kind of sharp on the outside, soft on the inside. So with leaves, with petals, you want sharper edge on the outer perimeter and softer edge on the transition or the turn. Not going to really be able to get the angle that I need here since the camera, but a little pinch of lighter light there for highlight on the center, just basically more white in that mix, and then just the teeniest, tiniest little pinpricks of lighter light that's hitting on these left edges of this peony. I just love peonies, so ruffly, so pretty, so feminine. So you can see how much paint I have on the edge of the brush, and I'm just barely kind of touching some edges here. But if the paint wasn't sitting on the edge of my brush, I wouldn't be able to do that. So when you're wanting nice thick pieces of paint, don't overmix your brush. Mix very slow, small piles, and then shovel load it on there is what I call it. Oh yeah. So pretty. So pretty. Nothing wrong with making beautiful, pretty paintings, right? Everybody needs this beauty in their life. Okay, my friends, this has been a hell of a lot of fun. See, I need to go a little bit darker and more muted there. Now, oftentimes in these little peony, the stems, they'll have some of that red in the stem themselves. I'm going to do some burnt sienna and alizarin crimson just to get, yeah, there we go. Doesn't really show up in their photo here, but I've noticed whenever I paint these from life that you'll often see some of the red of the flower in the stem, or sometimes even in the leaf, like in the vein of the leaf. Woo! Sweating now. Okay. We're going to sign this somewhere where the frame won't cover it up. I'm just going to use a little skewer. Somebody the other day was saying they use a thumbtack. Since the paint's wet, I can just scrape the signature in there. Oh, lovely. Okay. Ooh, yay, arena. So we'll just kind of zoom in here, give you guys a better shot of this. And I think, I don't know, I've got a gold frame and I've got a black frame. I'm curious which one, what's y'all's vote on this? If it should be in gold or black. Where's my black? So let's take this off. And I want to see what you guys think about the frame choice. If I should do gold or black. Gold, Arena's already voting gold. Gold, yeah, it does kind of really set off that black, doesn't it? Ooh, sorry. And kind of makes that ivory one really shine too. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's like jewelry, beautiful gold jewelry. Yeah, I think that's the one is gold, but let's just see. I think black would be better maybe with like high key. I don't know, black looks pretty good too. I guess it just depends. People are voting gold, gold, gold. Gold, gold, gold. Superb. Yay. Thank you, Anne Marie. I'm so glad you enjoyed this. Yay, yay, yay. And so also I want to let you guys know that these kind of paintinis and the little boxes are in the stocking stuffer category on kellyfolsom.com. They are 25% off right now if you want to grab any of those. And those will also, if you do end up getting a Paintini or one of these minis, you will get the Gratitude Prayers book complimentary as a gift with purchase too. Hi, Brenda Siegel. It's been so long since I've seen you. It's so good to see you. Oh, thanks you guys so much. Hi, Marilyn Troutman. So good to see you too. Thank you, Marilyn, for your vote. Thanks everybody for voting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. All right. Until tomorrow, happy painting. And I will, yeah, see you soon. Bye for now.